Wait. Before you scroll, listen to this. A respected South African DJ is shot dead. A suspect is arrested, but instead of just answering for murder, he walks into court claiming police brutality. Bruised hands, visible injuries, and a lawyer saying, "My client was assaulted by the police." Now ask yourself this. What happens when a murder case turns into a constitutional issue? What happens when the man accused of killing a national media figure claims his own rights were violated? Is this a distraction? Is it a delay tactic? Or is this a serious allegation that could change the entire case? Because make no mistake, Mzansi, this is no longer just about who pulled the trigger. It's about how justice is carried out and whether the system itself is now on trial. Tonight, on Mzansi PoliScope, we unpack the DJ Warras murder case, the shocking police brutality claims, and the courtroom drama that has South Africans divided. Stay with us, because this story gets deeper, darker, and more complicated than you've been told. Welcome to Mzansi PoliScope, the channel where we slow things down, look past the headlines, and ask the questions others are afraid to ask. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been rocking with us, thank you for trusting this platform. Before we continue, do us a small favor. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join a growing community of South Africans who care about truth, justice, and responsible storytelling. Now, today's story is heavy, it's emotional, and it's controversial. Because we're talking about the murder of DJ Warras, a man many South Africans grew up listening to, laughing with, and respecting. But it wasn't just music. Warras was also a TV personality, podcaster, and entrepreneur, always visible, always active, always shaping conversations across South Africa. His energy was infectious, his voice unforgettable, and his influence, it reached far beyond the studio, into homes, cars, and the hearts of thousands of South Africans. Which is why, when news broke of his tragic death in Johannesburg CBD, the nation collectively paused. Shock, sadness, anger. For many, DJ Warras wasn't just a media personality, he was a friend, a mentor, and a symbol of South African creativity and resilience. And now, with a suspect arrested, allegations flying, and questions unanswered, his family, his fans, and the nation are left searching for justice and closure. Let's take a closer look at what happened next, and why this case has become more than just a murder investigation. Fast forward a few weeks after DJ Warras' tragic death, the police announce an arrest. 44-year-old Victor Majola, a suspect in the murder, is taken into custody at a Soweto hostel. The arrest itself was tense, highly visible, and captured the attention of media across the country. But here's where it gets complicated. Majola doesn't just walk into court quietly. He arrives limping, with visible injuries, wrapped in a hoodie trying to shield his face from cameras. The authorities say it's routine, just part of securing a high-profile suspect. But his lawyer raises an eyebrow, alleging that Majola was assaulted by police during his arrest. Now the story isn't just about a suspect. It's about the way he was treated in custody and whether those actions could impact the entire case. South Africans are watching closely, because in a case that already shocked the nation, this arrest and the allegations surrounding it add another layer of controversy and scrutiny. Next, we'll dive deeper into those police brutality claims and why they have become the focal point of public debate. Now, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. Victor Majola's lawyer claims that during his arrest, Majola was physically assaulted by police officers. Brutal enough, the lawyer says, that Majola suffered injuries on his hands, his body, injuries severe enough to require medical attention before he can face the court properly. Imagine that, a suspect in a high-profile murder case, already under intense scrutiny, now alleges that the system meant to enforce justice may have violated his rights. This raises serious questions. Dick, was this excessive force? Was it misconduct? Or is this part of the chaos surrounding high-profile arrests? South Africans have strong opinions. Some argue if you committed the crime, you should face the consequences. Others push back. Even suspects have rights, and those rights must be respected. The law is clear. Every person in custody has the right to dignity, medical care, and protection from harm. This isn't just about Majola. It's about constitutional principles and whether the police acted within the law. And now the allegations have made this case even more explosive. It's no longer just a murder investigation. It's a national conversation about police conduct, accountability, and justice. As the court prepares to hear Majola's case, these claims of brutality could shape how bail is considered, how the public perceives the police, and how the investigation moves forward. Next, we'll step inside the courtroom itself and see what unfolded when Majola made his first appearance.
The courtroom in Johannesburg's Magistrates Court was packed. Media cameras, curious onlookers, and legal teams all waiting to see Victor Majola. And then he appears, wrapped in a dark hoodie, limping slightly, trying to hide his face from the cameras. Every step seems measured, cautious, and the tension in the room is palpable. His lawyer immediately raises concerns. They argue that Majola's injuries, allegedly from police assault, require urgent medical evaluation before he can be expected to participate fully in his trial. The prosecutor, however, is unyielding. They oppose bail, citing the serious nature of the case, and insist that Majola remain in custody while the investigation continues. As the judge listens, the courtroom is silent. Every side knows the stakes. This isn't just another bail hearing. It's a test of how the justice system balances public safety, suspects' rights, and the rule of law. Observers note the emotional weight in the room. Supporters of DJ Warras are watching closely. The media is documenting every move, and Majola's lawyer is challenging every procedure, arguing that justice is not only about punishment, but about fairness. By the end of the hearing, one thing is clear. This case is far from straightforward. It's about a murder investigation, yes, but also about rights, procedures, and accountability. Next, we'll take a closer look at the legal context, why every move in this courtroom matters, and what the law says about suspects, bail, and police conduct. Let's take a step back and unpack what's happening here, legally speaking. In South Africa, every suspect has rights, even those accused of the most serious crimes. The Constitution guarantees dignity, fair treatment, and medical care. It guarantees that no one should be subjected to assault, abuse, or degrading treatment while in custody. So when Majola claims that he was assaulted by the police, this is not a trivial matter. It becomes a constitutional question, one that could affect bail, the admissibility of evidence, and even the public perception of the investigation. Bail is one of the key legal issues here. The state argues that due to the seriousness of the murder charge, Majola should remain in custody. His lawyer counters injuries sustained during arrest compromise his ability to defend himself properly. This is the delicate balance South African courts face, protecting the public from danger while also upholding the rights of those accused. It's why this case has sparked such intense debate. Some people focus on the crime itself, the tragic death of DJ Warras. Others focus on how the justice system handles suspects, because if the system fails here, it sends a message that rights can be overlooked. In short, every motion, every objection, and every ruling in this courtroom is more than just procedure. It's a test of justice, fairness, and the rule of law. And it's a reminder that even in high-profile cases, human rights cannot be ignored. Next, we'll explore the public reaction, how South Africans are responding to this story and why it has become a national conversation. As news of Victor Majola's arrest and the police brutality claim spreads, Mzansi is talking. Social media is buzzing. Some say, if you did the crime, you must face the consequences. Others push back, saying, even suspects have rights, and those rights must be respected. The tension here is real. It's a classic struggle between the need for justice for DJ Warras and the principle of protecting the rights of every individual, no matter the accusation. Public opinion is divided. Some see the brutality claims as a tactic to delay justice. Others view it as a serious warning about police conduct and accountability. This debate isn't just online. It's in newsrooms, family discussions, and community halls across the country. Because at the heart of this story is something every South African understands: the fight for justice, fairness, and the truth. Next, we'll look at what's coming next in court and why the upcoming hearings are so critical to this case. Looking ahead, South Africans are watching closely. Victor Majola is scheduled to return to court on 6 January 2026. This next appearance will be crucial, not just for him, but for the entire investigation into DJ Warras's murder. The court will revisit the bail application, consider Majola's alleged injuries, and evaluate whether police conduct impacted his rights. Lawyers on both sides are preparing for a showdown of arguments. The prosecution wants to ensure that justice for DJ Warras is served. The defense is focused on ensuring a fair trial for their client. For the public, this means more media coverage, more debates, and heightened attention. Every decision made in court could set a precedent, not only for this case, but for how high-profile arrests and allegations of police misconduct are handled in South Africa. So, when Majola steps back into that courtroom, the eyes of the nation will be watching, and the next few weeks could determine how justice unfolds in one of the country's most talked-about murder cases. Next, we'll focus on the impact on DJ Warras's family and the emotional toll this entire case has taken on those closest to him.
Amid all the court drama, legal arguments, and public debate, let's not forget the human cost of this tragedy. DJ Warras wasn't just a celebrity. He was a father, a brother, a friend, a mentor. His sudden death has left a hole in the lives of those who loved him most. His family has had to grieve under the public eye, with cameras, reporters, and social media amplifying every moment. Every update about arrests, bail hearings, and police brutality claims only adds to their pain. For them, this is not just a story on the news. It's their loved one, their everyday life, and their struggle for closure. And while the nation debates justice, rights, and procedure, the family waits, quietly, painfully, hoping that the legal system can bring answers, accountability, and peace. Next, we'll reflect on the bigger picture in Final Thoughts and what this case tells us about justice, accountability, and the rule of law in South Africa. So, what can we take away from this story, Mzansi? We've seen the tragedy of DJ Warras's untimely death.
we followed the arrest of Victor Majola and explored the allegations of police brutality that have shocked the nation. This case is more than just headlines. It's about justice, rights, and accountability. It's about how we, as a society, balance the pursuit of truth with the protection of human dignity. For DJ Warras' family, it's a story of grief and hope. For the public, a story of debate and scrutiny. And for the justice system, a test of fairness under intense pressure. If you've been following this story with us, thank you for staying informed, staying curious, and staying engaged. Remember, justice isn't just about punishment. It's about truth, fairness, and accountability for everyone involved. If you found this breakdown insightful, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the case, the legal process, and the balance between rights and enforcement. This has been Mzansi PoliScope, keeping you informed, aware, and thinking critically. Until next time, Mzansi, stay vigilant, stay fair, and stay curious.